Okay. If you can't see my head, please forgive me. I'm sorry, I have to stand up for this one. A while ago, I wanted a new rifle. I wanted a 5.56 rifle, /223, blah 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 blah. And I was looking at the PAR, which you saw me review. I talked about it. I was looking at the AR-15. I didn't know what I wanted. My FFL's business partner, who himself is a retired cop, said, get the Kel-Tec. We had the Kel-Tec. We sold like 70 of them. And he said he went down to his property in Virginia and brought out all his standard capacity magazines, and the Kel-Tec ate up everything. And the Kel-Tec takes AR type magazines from 10 rounds to 100. And the Kel-Tec eats up steel case, the Kel-Tec eats up reloads, the Kel-Tec eats up low power, everything. Plus the Kel-Tec has the pouch, which you can store one 30 caliber or two 10 round, one 30 round or two 10 round magazines. And it's like half the price of an AR-15. This is a year ago. I went to my FFL and I wanted to buy a gun. I had to buy 40 caliber ammunition. And the FFL said, here's the 40 caliber. And I said, where are the Kel-Tecs? Sold out. Fuck. There was an AR-15 there, but it was one of those flat top things where it's optic ready. You gotta buy your own fucking scope or optics or what the fuck you want on it. Okay, so it was a lot of money. Well, it was a decently priced AR-15, but add in your own scopes or your own sights for $200 plus put them on plus zero them. So my FFL said, wait for the Kel-Tec. So this past year, I was talking to one of the court officers, and I said, I'm getting my rifle this year. I said, if the Kel-Tec isn't available, I'll go with the other option, the one I wanted in 2013. And yeah. So I texted the FFL. I was like, I want a case of 45, and where are the Kel-Tecs? No Kel-Tecs for over a year. Fuck. Okay. What's going on with the Ruger Mini? Because I wanted a Ruger Mini years ago, and then I got the M1 carbine. Okay. Ruger Minis, all weather, this price. You got them in the store? Yes, I do. Good. Deal. I went down there, and I have to bring my mother because there's no parking down there. Plus, there's construction going on, and the street is closed off. So my mother had to go around the other side of the block, park. I had to get off, walk a block, pick up my 45 ammo, come down to the car, threw it in the back of the car. My mom's like, we going? No, I gotta give him the check. So, you know, so I go upstairs, she's doing my background check, complete the background check, and I get the Ruger Mini 14 Ranch model, stainless steel, black synthetic stock. And I also got a 10 round box of ammo for free. That's the FFL gives that out when you buy a rifle. I get 2 5-round mags with the gun, and I bought another 10-round mag, and I will buy more magazines later. So I go to the range over here, and they know me as the guy with the M1 carbine that has the fucking handguard taped on it. Now I got the Ruger Mini. He says, go next to that guy, shoot. This guy's shooting his AR-15. You stand next to this guy, you can shoot this booth. Fine, okay? So the guy's like, what is that? I'm like, Ruger Mini. Oh my god, I wanted one. So I put the target down, fire a couple rounds. One of the range masters comes over and says, listen, send it down to the very end of the range because I don't need hitting the rig up top. And I was like, what's the rig up top? He said $6,000. Okay. And he told me a nightmare story about a guy that hit the rig. And the guy next to me told me another nightmare story. We'll get to them in another video. So I'm shooting a couple times, and then I empty the mags are out, and I reload the mags. Reload it, click, it doesn't go boom. Fuck. Mag out, click, okay, round fell on the floor under the table. Now in theory, when you're at the range, under the table, there's no danger down here. However, when you crawl under the table, everybody gets the idea you're going onto the range itself, and they freak out. So I get the broom, and I use the broom to sweep the round back. If you can't do that, tell the range master and he'll call a ceasefire or go ahead himself. He'll arrange other plans. but never crawl under the table at the range unless you've told the range master first. So I get the round. Here's the problem. When I put the rifle down to reload the magazines, I must have accidentally pushed the safety back on. So I reload, load up, shoot. The guy's getting ready to pack up. I'm reloading. And I said, I want to buy the Kel-Tec. Man, I want to buy the Kel-Tec too. Is the Kel-Tec legal? And I said, the Kel-Tec that folds under and you can fire from the folded position is not legal. The Kel-Tec that folds where you can't fire it is legal. But get this instead. I said, get this fucking rifle. And he was jumping up and down. He couldn't believe how, I should have let him fire it, but I didn't. So he leaves. I get them shooting. Putting the shit away, put the brass away, got to throw it into the garbage. And there's another guy who has 2 range masters with him helping him out. And he has a really nice AR-15. Yes, it has the communist stock on it, but it also has a really nice Desert Tan communist stock with a really nice tan quad rail. And the quad rail is spinning around. He can't hold it on. He's trying to anchor the fucking quad rail. And, I didn't say anything because, I'm the guy with the fucking M1 carbine with the handguard that always flies off. So who the fuck am I to talk about him? And I go back, get the target back. This is a 30-yard target fired by a guy that never fired this gun before. I've fired 7 rifles in my lifetime. And of those 7 rifles I fired, none of them were the Ruger Mini 14. I fired SIG MPX SBR, SIG MPX pistol, basically the same fucking thing. Different furniture in the back though. M1 carbine, 2 AR-15s, PAR, and Ruger Mini. Oh shit, sorry. It's gonna fucking collapse on me. Sorry. Now, the Ruger Mini has a history. Many years ago during World War II, the marksman had the 1903 Springfield. The rifleman had the M1 Garand. The squad man had the BAR. 3 rifles, 1 caliber. 1 gun has a stripper clip, 1 gun has an on clip, and 1 gun has a box mag. The same caliber, but the feeding devices are not interchangeable. Now you have medic / corpsman, officer, radio man, a couple other guys have either the M1 carbine, which is a different feeding device and different ammunition, or Thompson gun or grease gun. Thompson and grease gun have 45 ACP, but once again different magazines. Now you got a logistical problem. They decided to make a rifle that would replace as much stuff as possible to make it a little more uniform, because when you have shipments of ammunition coming in, okay, you have stockpiles of this and the other thing, okay, you got guys in the fucking field, they can't share ammunition, they can't share feeding devices, so you got a problem. So they had John C. Garand, not Garand, Garand. And they had him and a couple other guys work out a replacement for the M1 Garand. And that replacement was the M14. M14 was short-lived. It was soon replaced by the M16/AR type rifle, blah blah blah. And the M14 today is drawn out for special marksmen and other guys who need a more powerful cartridge than 5.56, like the long-range guys. Now, the AR-10 was slated to replace the M14/M1A. The AR-10 is a space-age gun that fires a 3-way bullet. They decided it was too powerful, and for logistical reasons, for ammunition weight, for controllability, they scaled that down to what we call the AR-15/M16/M4. Okay. Bill Ruger Sr., the president of Ruger Industries, had an idea to make a rifle kind of sort of like the M16. It would be a scaled down version of the M14. So you have the AR-10 scaled down AR-15, M14 scaled down Mini 14. This is a scaled down a scaled down M14/M1A rifle. And the original rifles had a very, very thin profile barrel. I'm going to put a few links below Nothing Fancy says many years ago he wrote to Bill Ruger himself and got a response and showed it on air. He complained that the rifle barrel was so thin, it was thinner than the 22 barrel. And he said the barrel should be improved a little bit, make it sort of a medium profile barrel. And they eventually did that 10 years later. The original sight was a blade, okay? The original had wood furniture, blued finish, shit like that. This is the all-weather version, which means this is more conducive to rain, salt water, stuff like that. It will not rust as easily. And the black synthetic stock is much better than the wood because it doesn't warp as much as wood does. Okay, now we're going to run down the parts for you. First we're going to clear it. Obviously it was unloaded, but I want to do it on air just to show off. Okay, you have the butt stock. Rubber butt pad. Very, very nice and easy. Easy on your shoulder. It's a traditional polymer, traditional synthetic stock. Hand guard, which is this piece up here. And you can see where it separates from the main part of the stock. This is where the gas block and all the other bullshit is in the inside of the gun. This is the rear sight. It is adjustable, but why? Why do you want to be adjustable? There's a piece of Picatinny rail which could span from here to here. You see it in a lot of Nothing Fancy videos, and there's 2 steel rings also included with the box. If I wanted to put a scope, but why would I want to do that? Because if I put a scope up here, I can't put it back in the box. I gotta find a way to store it. Okay, this is the trigger guard. This is the bolt. No, this is the bolt here. This is the charging handle here to charge the rifle. Okay, this is the front stock rabbit ears. There's no one behind the counter, we're safe. This is the front swivel and the rear swivel. I will get a stock. And overall, this is just, you can tell this is a heavier piece than AR-15. You can tell there's more girth to it, and it is more accurate than AR-15. There, I said it. Let the butter begin. And it just feels good because there's no pistol grip, there's no falling stock, there's no muzzle device, there's none of that distracting shit. Okay, I'll make a video on that a little later on. You know, tactical versus practical. Now, to operate this rifle, okay, we are gonna go hot. Be advised, 5-round magazine. Now, this does not have the AR type magazine. Okay, Kel-Tec has AR type magazine. Robinson Arms, AR type magazine. And about 50 NATO countries have an AR type magazine. The thing is, all the Allied forces today work together. You could have a base overseas with 10 different nationalities on it. You could have a Marine, a Legionnaire, and an SAS guy in the same foxhole, and having the same ammunition and same magazine. The interchange between their rifles is very conducive for logistical shit. This magazine is its own device. You have to have a special magazine for this. So if you got your friend with the AR-15, you can share ammunition but not share magazines. That's the only drawback, is the magazine. I'm going to scoop the magazine in here. Okay, you have to sort of come in an angle and scoop in. Okay? Hear that click. Now, to fire the gun, it is on safety. To fire the gun, we're going to take this charging handle here, to load the gun rather. We're going to take this charging handle here, and we're going to rack it below. This gun is now loaded. Okay. To unload the gun, we're going to hit this button here. Well, I could have held it in I should have held it in my hand. But it's on screen, you saw it, right? Now, there is a round still chambered. Finger away from the trigger, safety on. We're going to plop it down and extract. bullet will either come out of the bottom or the top as long as it is out. We're going to check again to make sure nothing's in there. Okay. And just so we know, reload the magazine. We're going to show that on camera also. Okay, to reload the magazine, we take the ammunition, whole bullet. The bullet faces where the hole is, and this tab here faces the back where the primer is. Okay, so take the ammunition, lay it on top, and press down. That's it. Simple. No sliding in, no sliding up. Just press down. Magazines are made out of steel, and you can get up to 100 round magazines depending on what state you live in. Now, let me get into the magazine. Let me empty this mag. Empty the mag. One thing I like about this OB M1 carbine, in addition to the fucking handguard not flying off, the gun will lock open when the last round fires. Okay, because M1 carbine, I gotta pull the trigger, hear the bang, and ask myself, was that the last shot? And I either pull the trigger again, hear a click, or look down and inspect. Okay, the gate is open, the bolt is back, the ejection port is open, and you can visibly inspect it. This is so much easier and easier to eject the mag, get back on target. Awkward angle here, sorry. Doing an awkward angle. And this is the 10 round mag. Okay, I gotta get more of those. Okay. Peekaboo. Alright. Now, to hold this gun open on your own, the retention pin is up here. This is the bolt retention pin, or bolt slide stop. It's about 10 different names for it. It is a little awkward because you gotta pull this down here and press this in. Okay, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but that's about it. Okay, and to eject, to release, just hit the button release. Okay, now everything about this gun is where it needs to be. A lot of times you have the caliber will be on the barrel, or the caliber will be on the side plate somewhere over here. The caliber here is written right here. 5.56 NATO. Okay, or 223, whichever you prefer. So if you had a bunch of guns like Hickok 45 or nothing fancy, or Eric from Iraq Veteran, okay, you got a bunch of guns, and maybe you have them on a rack, okay, and you're walking down the rack, or if you're in a gun shop and you ask if they'll give me that one, and you're walking down the rack, okay, this gun is available in 5.56, 223, 300 blackout, 6.8. and 7.62 by 39. We'll get to that in a minute. So you could say I want the Mini 14 and I want the 5.56 version, and you could just run down the line and look at this on a rack and see that. Or if you grab a rifle and start getting ammunition, you can look down and see as you're loading it, am I loading the right magazine? Am I loading the wrong magazine would not fit in. The wrong ammunition would not fit in, but rather than have a snafu and fuck the gun up, you can look down visibly and say, okay, do I have the right ammunition? For me, it's not a problem because this is one of 2 rifles that I own, and it's the only 5.56 that I own. So for me, that's not a problem. But if you're a guy with 20 guns or 100 guns, it's a problem for you. Okay, you have to make sure you don't interchange calibers. So you can just simply look like this, or look down, or pick it up, or grab it, and see right then and there before you load it what the caliber is. Safety. A lot of times with an AR-15, I'm not picking on the AR-15. I like it. I'm just comparing and contrasting. AR-15 is safe to be over here, or over here, or in both places. Cross bolts, I hate cross bolts. My BB gun, the cross bolt safety, I can see red. I know it fires on red. Other cross bolt safeties are a pain in the fucking ass. This safety is excellent. Here. Back, the bullet stays back. Forward, the bullet goes forward. Very easy to remember. Okay, very easy to remember. The trigger is one of the most fabulous triggers I've ever shot of any gun, okay? And Ruger insists you not fuck with the trigger yourself. A lot of guys buy an AR and they drop in a new trigger in 2 minutes. Okay. Ruger does not want you to fuck with the trigger. Other than take it out, maybe spray it down a little bit. Okay, but as far as going into the trigger and fucking with the things, Ruger does not want you to do that. I'll do a field trip later on one day. Not down. But Ruger insists if you fuck with this, they're going to be very mad. So, the trigger is excellent. If you want to go to a gunsmith and get a trigger job, you can. But, but just make sure that if you do the trigger, make sure that a qualified guy does it. Because if you fuck with the trigger yourself and you break it, Ruger can legally void your warranty. Because they'll tell you flat out, we told you not to fuck with it, you did it anyway, and now you're going to pay for the trigger yourself. Okay? But it's just an excellent rifle because it is very heavy. And it's not like super heavy, but it's heavy to the point where you know it's a rifle. You know it's a commanding rifle. You know it's not going to wimp out on you. You feel that girth there. It feels solid in the hands, okay? It's slick. It's everything you need and nothing you don't. Okay, I'm so glad I got this. You have no fucking idea. When I got done shooting this, I texted my FFL and said, it's great. I normally email him or call him later on in the week, but I emailed him I texted him right down there. This is great. Okay? And being left-handed, I love the safety. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Okay, safety's back on. Okay. And the ejection tab is like AK-47 type up here. This is what I was pitting before. This is the magazine ejection tab. Okay, just hit it forward like that, mag drops out, or flies out. Now, I'm going to put a couple links below. Yeah, we're going to call it Nothing Fancy here. Nothing Fancy posted a couple videos. One video was where Nothing Fancy is running the Ruger Mini, his tactical version with the flash hider. He's running an AR-15, and his friend is running a newer AK. The Ruger Mini held its own against an AR-15 and a newer AK. Okay, it did. That rifle will save your life. If you need a tactical rifle, that is it. Bill Ruger envisioned that rifle for coyotes, wolves, feral dogs, farmers, ranchers, shit like that. But modern people have interpreted that rifle as a defensive rifle, and it is outstanding in that capacity. The iron sights are outstanding. I was shooting perfectly with them. You saw the results. I am so glad I bought it. Now, Nothing Fancy has been shooting these since 1980 continuously. At the moment I'm making this video, that's 38 years, 2 years longer than I've been alive. There's another video I want to put down below, the Mini 30. After the Cold War ended, everyone and their mother started pulling 7.62x39 out of their asshole. Okay? And Ruger decided to make a 7.62x39 rifle and call it the Mini 30. Now, most 223 ammunition is brass. Most 7.62x39 is steel, with a couple of exceptions here and there. Okay, so when you buy a 7.62x39 rifle, the steel case ammo wasn't working in it, and nothing shows that in the video. Like primer strikes, hard time ejecting. Okay, the trigger was a piece of shit. Okay, so if you want to buy a 7.62 by 39, either buy a fucking 8K or an SKS. Okay, don't buy the Mini 30. Okay, if you want a Ruger Mini, stick with the 14. Okay, 223/556 is very common in our country, very common in all NATO countries. Okay, it's the ammunition that we use. Okay, it is perfect. Okay, don't fucking over-engineer it. Okay. Depending on what state you live in, you can take the rifle out and put it in a special stock that has a pistol grip, bayonet lug, class of butt stock, Picatinny rails and shit. But is it that necessary? They do make a light that clamps onto here. I will look into it. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it though, but it just clamps onto here. So if you want a Mr. Potato Head, this is probably not for you. But if you want a rifle that's gonna be a couple $100 cheaper than an AR-15, and there's a good rifle, this is it. This rifle is tough. It's run clean. It's run dirty. They got guys on the internet throwing fucking dirt in here, still shooting it. Okay, this is a tough rifle. It will take the mud. It will take the shit. It will take all the other bullshit. Okay. In fact, if we were gonna go to if we had a problem and we had to deal with something, and you whipped out all the fucking guns, I would pick this right away. If this was on the counter, I would grab this. And I would grab this before I grab the AR-15. Okay? So, I am pleased with this. If you want to buy one, you might want to buy one. I have no problems with it at all. Okay? We will do a field video one day, maybe in a couple of months. I did strip it down already. It is actually pretty easy to strip down, believe it or not. So, here you go. Ruger Mini 14. Thank you.